welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. Welcome back to the U Up Podcast. A Friday feels. How you feeling, Jordana?
How do I feel? I feel pretty good. I'm excited. I've got the Betches Book Club event tonight.
Whoa, I've been hearing, I'm
sorry you weren't invited.
I know, I'm famously not a reader, but I am writing a book, which I don't know what we're doing. I'm Betches adjacent, so I hear these things. This book club sounds like it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. We got Nutella we're working with. They're
good sponsor.
Great. I mean, who doesn't like Nutella?
That's one of the very good point.
Yeah.
Like that
one
is
of those things. It's like you hate Nutella, like there's something
like what's wrong with you? Like if you have I was thinking like, when does this come out? What day is it? Oh, it's like we voted at this point.
Oh,
like the election's over.
Hopefully.
Well, this is the thing.
I feel like sometimes it never ends,
This isn't a political conversation as much as this is an exhaustion conversation. I just came from Raleigh. Thank you to everyone. We're taping these out of order. This is getting taped way before because we have had Logan Ury on as a special guest. These are all behind the curtain explanations for why are you talking about the preamble to the election.
Why don't we know what happened?
Right. I'm just saying.
I'm sure it was a great day. Everyone had fun.
The election? I don't think I am not sure.
That's that's right. The sarcasm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the thing. Everything with the election, there's no jokes. There's no sarcasm. No. Like I don't even know anymore. Like I was just in North Carolina. The Raleigh shows were great. Everyone was so much fun. The TV, it just was like every commercial was like horrific.
You can't get away from it. Even like the football stuff.
The football, the sound is on in the bar. Every time a commercial comes on and starts talking about the election, everyone just kind of gets weird and is looking over their shoulder. It's very paranoid. It's like nothing I've ever felt. And to think it's gotten different from 4 years ago, it has, but like in a worse, weird way.
I'm ready for it to just be like over.
I know, and that's like, that's like a privileged position, I guess, to be like I you know what I mean? Like
over?
I don't know, like I just like enough already.
Yeah.
Like just get and then there's someone that could always say like, that's because you don't need to worry. And it's like I am worried for the state of the country as a whole, but
as someone out there dating around this time, are these conversations coming up?
Oh, you can't avoid it. Unavoidable.
Do your dates bring them up?
Unavoidable to not talk about. I mean, you can sit there on your fucking moral high ground and be like, oh, first dates, you can't bring up the election, the politics.
I don't think
no,
that flies anymore.
Even if you're the most, and again, I say this and I know this sounds bad to some people, I'm an apolitical person. Like that's not like my jam. Yeah. I don't have any. I don't think
You're
I'm
not passionate about politics.
Right. I'm not a knowledgeable person. I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I can't make a boner. Like all these things, okay?
The ads are directed at you.
Right. I'm the evil asshole. I'm just saying, even the conversations go adjacent to it. Just by nature of saying how crazy things are.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it. And generally when I'm on a date with someone, it feels like we've already like had a vibe where like we're around the same area of thoughts on things.
Okay.
You never know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Right. You don't know. And when it comes up, you end up 10 minutes into a conversation, you were like, I can't believe I'm talking about this on a date.
Right.
And it always comes up. And it's
Does it come up or does someone bring it up?
Listen, I'm guilty of bringing it up.
Right.
And I'm, again, as an apolitical...
It's just everywhere, right?
It's it's in the atmosphere. Like, just talking about the commercials in Raleigh. Like, you're talking about it. Like, and we're on a dating podcast, and and this is supposed to be fun and laughter. And...
Does it ever come up and there's, like, a difference of opinions, and it's, like, weird for a sec?
I haven't had that much of that. I have been in like bars and spoken with people where it comes up, especially like because you didn't have the dating app convo or the DM convo or the text convo first. You just met in a bar.
Right.
So you're talking with someone and it comes up in a certain way of so many subjects. Like there's just so many subjects. Like, I mean, I was out one night, recently, and this girl, she got kind of drunk and she's she was like, "What's your favorite city to do stand up in?" And I was like, "I love San Francisco." I was like, "I just love everything about San Francisco." And just by nature of saying how much I love San Francisco, we're having a political conversation because people immediately they go to how much, I know who they are just by what they'll
How the
say.
reaction to that.
Right.
Yeah.
The homeless issue. I'm like, have you been? No. And it's like, of course,
Right.
like you're just repeating something you've heard before.
It's kind of like how people on Long Island talk about the city.
Right. Totally. You know that conversation. And that's the thing is like, no one's that smart and no one's that stupid.
Right.
I live in that, like, you're 10% away from everyone. I really do believe that. So when someone thinks they're like having this intelligent conversation, for me, where I have more conversations than most people, just by nature of traveling every day and having different audiences every night, and I have more interaction, I have more variables in my life than most people have.
Right.
And I'm not saying that to sound above anyone. I'm just saying this is my experience in the world. I've heard all these things.
Right.
Oh, the city's so dangerous. And I'm like, you're not smart. You're just doing the same fucking combo. I get it. You're trying to push me you're trying to feel me out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
which is annoying.
It's annoying. Yeah. And you go on these dates, I when I said San Francisco, she goes, it's just such a gay city. And I go, what?
Okay.
That was it was a surprise variable of many variables that I encounter.
Right.
And I go, well, I mean, yeah, it's a very liberal city, I get, right. I go,
it's a large gay population. Sure.
Right. And it's like, it has a lot of history with, gay rights, like, I guess, I don't know. Like, again, idiot me.
Right.
And this conversation's happening and there's like a couple people around and like, you can see someone's like eyes go open a little bit.
Are you afraid you're going to be with like that person?
I guess the anti-gay person.
I
didn't know what they meant, and I was like,
"What was the tone like?"
The tone was, and then we started talking a little bit more, and the tone turned into like, it's just like you could get hit on, and I was like, "Well,
She's worried about you."
I guess it was like, there was alcohol involved, so like there, like I don't, and again, like I think it just takes. I think dating and meeting new people right now, considering the atmosphere, takes an incredible amount of meeting with people with empathy.
I would agree. It's it feels like a mini, but not even as bad, but it feels like a smaller version of the COVID dating.
Right. I guess it's more broad. The COVID dating.
You're feeling out someone's
right. It was one subject.
How's the restaurant outdoor bar?
Right. Do you like drinking outside?
How many living grandparents do you have?
So how's that not wearing a mask going? Hint, hint, do you wear one? Yeah,
right.
This is just like I think the difference now is you don't know what's coming. Like there's actually
issues.
30 different things that could come up on an interaction with someone that you're like, I guess we're here now.
Right. So what's your advice to someone dating when it comes to like
Oh, I have great advice.
Politics or like being in that.
As I've just professed myself, if I'm gonna call myself an expert on interactions, which I'm much more comfortable calling myself than an expert in dating because I am not. Okay. I'm sitting here single.
As someone with an expert in interactions who meets people of the whole political spectrum.
Here's the best thing you could ever say to someone who comes to you with garbage shit. I don't know. I like it. I don't know.
I like it.
I immediately start with I don't know it works for me. I do it with my dad who comes at me with whatever fucking Fox News told him to say that day. I come at it with women I meet at the bar that say weird shit. I don't know. I start with I don't know.
I love it.
Because it is I'm putting my hands, guns are in my pocket, the weapons are away. And I even had this conversation.
You're like, that's basically, I'm not going to go there with you.
Well, I will go there, but let's start it. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's start it. No. I go there.
Oh, you do go there. I thought that's your way to like leave the conversation.
No, I always just say, let's start it. I just don't know. Because for anyone to be positive about anything right now, you have to be fucking crazy. Like that is delusional.
Right.
Like the news we get comes from places we're not sure of. We're just more unsure than we used to be. Mm-hmm. It's the sad part of the world right now. They say the fall of Rome was when people didn't trust the information they got. Like this
Who
is
says
like
this?
This is like a thing. I read a tweet once. Again, I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
See how it's safe?
Yeah.
It is a safe way of like, I don't know, kind of like, let's it breathe. Like, I had this, like, ask me,
What do you think of all the gays in San Francisco?
that was a little too comfortable for you, Jordana.
You just fed
Do
me
it again.
Don't do this to me. You fed this
That's
to me.
my new ringtone. Belle, take that out. Send it to me. What do you think? Do you think that's how that woman spoke? What do you think of all the gays in San Francisco? Rootin', tootin'.
In the cartoon version of that conversation, that's how I heard it.
No, you're right. Okay, go again.
Right. But more realistic?
No, do it the same.
Okay.
No, less realistic.
Okay, so, Jared, what about all those gays in San Francisco? What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of gay people there. There's a lot of straight people there.
And then what do they say?
What do you think? Now I've hit it back to you.
Right, now I've got to finish my own
deal with deal with the statement you just made.
Interesting, right.
I don't know.
It's like whiplash.
Right, you go back at them and then you have to own your words.
Right.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
Not going to feel me out.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So I think I don't know is a really good.
I like it.
It is honest too.
Yes, it's the November version of Is That My Wife?
Is that my wife? No, the November version is, what do you think of the gays in San Francisco?
There we go.
So what are we talking about today?
All right, today.
Now that we've made everyone angry.
I don't think we offended anyone.
Did we?
I hope
Belle,
not.
Candace?
We'll find out what makes the cut.
Are you not entertained?
All right, let's do some icky or picky. Like it? That's a little lighter.
Let's do an icky or picky.
I feel like I can breathe. No.
To me, this is a light icky or picky that could go depthier. I think this is an interesting icky or picky. And if you're new to the show, we have an email from a listener, and they're asking if they're being too picky. And they've gotten the ick, and they've ended something with someone, and they're asking if they're being frivolous with their decision.
Yes.
Right? So I love this one. Oh, and if you're out there, I'm going to be in St. Louis, Dania Beach, Portland, Oregon, Rochester, and Australia.
Ooh.
The No Winter Tour is coming
happening.
The end of February into March. So jaredfreed.com. Also Tarrytown, the first show sold out. We're done.
It's over for you.
OVA. Ova. We have a second show. There's a few seats left. Go, go, go. Tell someone to come.
Might be gone by the time you hear this.
We got a taping, a Betches production. So let's do it.
I'm excited.
So jaredfreed.com. Icky or picky? Go for it.
Let's do it. All right. Hey, J&J and Candace. I'm a male listener and a subscriber. I have an icky or picky that could probably go either way. I was dating a woman for a few dates of whom I was interested in, but still trying to figure out if I liked her or not to see her exclusively. She did give me some yellow flags along the way. I tried not to judge too harshly, but I digress. We decided to meet up during a lunch period to walk our dogs as just a casual day date. Everything was going pretty well, and I had thought, maybe she is worth investing some time into. Romantic.
Sounds very, maybe I will take in this young straggler. Yeah, very, very much.
I might have grown fond of this pet.
I could save this one.
Until a few steps later, when she had decided she grew tired of carrying around a bag of dog poop, which she had been carrying since before I had even met up with her 30 minutes prior, and said so to me. Before I could even say anything, she hurls the bag into the woods and continues on like that was a normal thing to do with no remorse.
It is so jarring to be like, how's your brother been? Just take a bag of shit.
With no shame?
Throw it in the woods?
That's insane. Not even in a compost pile?
I don't really like Thai food.
I mean, imagine her in bed.
I mean, wild. Well, that's the thing with someone like that. You're like, what
would you not do?
Right. Littering is wild.
That kind of littering, especially. Before I could
I told you the story about when I was in Austin.
What happened?
I'm in an Uber, and this woman Uber driver, she's driving like crazy. It was like, crazy cab. And I'm like, I think she's driving erratically. And then like, we're on the highway, and suddenly she just hits the button for the window, and she takes her Dasani water bottle, like, fucks
Oh, I
out the
remember
window.
this now.
And I'm like, it was like, it's so funny to me that it wasn't her driving that made me
No,
like,
that is scarier.
she took the bottle, threw out the window. I immediately put on my seatbelt. And I was like, if she's doing that,
I
like,
agree.
what
There's-
else?
Right. Reckless.
Reckless.
Now I'm no conservationist or anything, but I was immediately turned off by the sheer audacity and the yellow flags turned red. I ended things shortly after that, and I think that the bag was the deciding factor, but not the only one. So what do we think? Is it picky to end things in a talking stage because of no remorse littering, or was I right to let this icky travesty be the nail in the talking stage coffin? Signed, the dumper of the doggy dump dumper.
What do you think, icky or picky?
This is definitely icky.
It's
This
icky.
is not picky.
Listen, I love how he has to say he's not a conservationist. I don't even believe in recycling. I think it's bullshit. Like, I think like all versions of the people having to take care of the earth is stupid. We shouldn't have any responsibility to the earth. It's these huge companies that are pumping shit in the atmosphere. The idea that we're fighting amongst each other for like, should I put it into compost or not? Like, I don't even know what to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but even with all that said, the idea of someone just throwing shit on the ground to me is like the most like crazy deranged thing
I
to do.
agree. Even the fact that she was holding it for 30 minutes before he met up with her is also crazy. Like, you're going
Right.
to arrive to a date holding a bag of shit.
It's
In what world would you not be the only
Quite
thing
an
you
opening.
needed to do before you got to the date?
right.
If I was holding a bag of shit, I would make sure I had thrown it out before I met up with my date.
Right. You couldn't find one garbage can.
Right?
You didn't even make that like a
What city is this?
right. Where are you?
I will say the best thing about New York City is there's a garbage can on every single corner.
This is kind of my point with like this whole weirdness of like I'm no conservationist, because it is funny. There's barrels on every corner, but sometimes they have no lining.
right.
So you're just throwing, like, the difference between throwing this plastic cup in the barrel and out of the barrel is like kind of zero. Like, it's like it's like
Well, at least it's
you just kinda-
contained.
well, that's the thing. At least it's contained, and you're just kind of like hoping
There's
parks,
a plan.
Yeah, the government, as we talked about earlier, you're hoping that is something they're taking care of. That's, to me, what the government is for, to make
Right.
sure garbage gets taken out and the cities can be as clean as they can possibly be, considering, the money they have to do that. Like, that's the stuff that and honestly, I hate that this is me on a date. This is me bringing it back to politics. Like, that's the stuff where I'm like depressed that we don't talk about enough. Like, with like politicians, like, hey, I got a plan for the streets of New York, and you like, instead of hearing like, these people are canceling me. Like, I like the culture war stuff.
You want
is
stuff that's
so,
more tangible.
I would,
Yeah.
if I heard a politician be like, I got a plan.
No more paper straws.
I will make sure the paper straws are gone, and that there's linings in every bin on every corner. I'd be like, wow, they're doing something.
Right. Well, that's
Like-
something that affects you.
I think all of us, everyone, all those people in Long Island that try to pull you into conversations, all they talk about is so dirty.
Right.
I don't mind it, but I'm saying I can't say that's not a thing.
So when you go on this rant on a date, does the person respond with, well, I don't know.
You don't know, and then I get mad at them. You don't know? You don't think there should be linings in the garbage cans?
What are you, an animal?
What are you?
Yeah. I mean, this is icky. This
Right,
person's
is
a lunatic.
It's just to huck a bag full of shit is
It's
just
crazy anywhere.
without even acknowledgement that is like, if he had said,
If she was like, okay, what if, let me do a more realistic
right,
scenario.
I don't know. This
She's
is pretty
holding
realistic.
the bag. The dog takes a shit while they're on the date.
Right.
She's holding the bag. There's no garbage place in sight. There's she's like, she's talking. She's like, I don't even know where to put this. This is kind of gross. I keep holding this. Like, you don't think a restaurant will let me put it in here? Like, I don't know where to put it. Do you think I should just toss it into the woods?
No. And if she presented it,
Right.
that's actually not that weird. What do you
Still
still
not
weird.
great.
If she said to me, should I toss it in the woods? I would look at her and go, are you crazy? No. Let's make the date. Now the date's adventure is finding a garbage can.
To put your bag of shit in.
Right. Where you and I are going to find a place for your bag of shit.
Okay.
That's, to me, like, that's a more normal thing for them to do on a lunch
Right.
walk, is like, hey, let's walk towards a coffee place where you can throw away this bag of shit.
This is
Right?
romance. That's like the what was it? You've got male dreams.
Is that
Like the fall in New York.
right? You with a bag of shit,
It-
him with
but-
his dog on a
yeah.
leash.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that would be a different scenario. This is
But
crazy.
but in that scenario, I would laugh at them. I go,
But it would
throw it in the woods.
let's
No,
say
let's go walk
What if
somewhere.
they just had the idea? Just having the idea, I think, would be like
I wouldn't be
forgivable.
icked out.
Forgivable.
It is funny that the male icky or pickies are like, hey, should I keep dating this person who did the most monstrous thing ever? Like
What are the women's?
the women's are like, he ties his shoes bunny ears.
Depend- We'd have to go through the list to
Right.
take.
Well,
I don't
think
know.
this. I know that
Okay.
this one is like, do you think it was weird of me to like think it was bizarre for someone to throw a bag of shit in the woods on our
Really?
date? It'd be like, you're on a date with someone who threw shit.
Did she have a good arm?
Ah! I just imagined her. It's just such a funny visual
It's
of like,
insane.
oh,
Also,
yeah,
like, no
work is
discretion-
crazy. Ah!
No discretion. It would almost be again like if she like kind of quietly just like
Right,
dropped
laid it
it
behind a
somewhere.
tree.
Right.
Hey, I don't know I'm littering. Like even to mention littering would have been
right.
helpful.
Yeah, you have to have some shame.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
All right, let's do an email.
All right, let's do it.
UUP@betches.com. You can also call into the show, 212-589-8903. We love a voicemail.
Voicemail. Leave
been
us
a while. I
voicemail.
like
We
hearing
love
the
those.
voices.
We get your tone. It's important.
Right. Okay, J&J, let's jump right in. Jared, I need your advice. Well, Jordana, you can go.
All right, bye.
She writes, I need dick advice. Okay. I'm a 34-year-old divorced female. I was married to my high school sweetheart for 8 years until divorced at 30. So being with new guys has been an adventure, she writes in capital letters. To say the least, the past few years of single life. I've had a lot of fun and realized that I actually love sex. I just really didn't like having it with my ex.
That's nice.
Fun parting gift to him. Hey, I just wrote into a podcast about I didn't like having sex with you. Okay, to the problem. More than once, like actually more times than I would like to admit, the guy has performance issues, as in can't keep it up. Granted, by the time I usually get to this part of the night with a guy, we are usually many, many, many drinks in. So my question is there something wrong with me that is making this happen? Is there really such a thing as whiskey dick or tequila weenie, as the last guy called it? Tequila weenie.
I've never heard that one. That is emasculating.
Right. That's almost like he's trying to turn her
get you
off.
away,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'm soft. Now let's get you dry.
Tequila weenie?
Tequila weenie.
Ugh.
Tequila weenie. That is like offensive to the ears. You know,
That's
like when they
very
say, like,
cringy. I think that alone is like the deal breaker.
right. You know how, like, on TikTok, they'll be like, oh, that itch is a part of my brain?
Yeah.
Tequila weenie, like, hurts me.
It's recoil. It makes you recoil.
Yeah. Like, if can you imagine being in bed with someone? Hey, I'm getting some tequila weenie.
I imagine
you can't
this-
say it seriously.
I imagine the tiniest penis.
Right, weenie doesn't help for size. putting
Whiskey
together.
dick at least sounds like sturdy for some
Hey,
reason.
sorry, I got some whiskey cock going on. That makes me sound huge.
That's what, yeah.
Hey, I got some whiskey girthy dick going on.
It doesn't even really rhyme.
Tequila weenie, yeah, there's no ring to it. Tequila weenie?
No.
Tequila weenie? It didn't, yeah, no, that didn't work, Belle.
Yeah. It's a no.
Tequila weenie?
Uh-uh.
No, it'd be tequila peenie. Tequila peenie. Now
Still
we're
doesn't
cooking.
rhyme. All right, anyway.
All right. Maybe make this a you up extra benefits for.
Come up with your own name for a soft penis.
What would you call it? Beer.
Whiskey dick, I think, is the most flattering
Beer
term.
mush.
No.
That's disgusting. Whiskey dick really told. We didn't need anything else, right?
Yeah. That's the best one.
That's
for
the
men.
beginning and the
Yes.
end of how to describe that scenario.
Yes, if you're in it.
And let me just tell this person. Can I start
Is this a
with?
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kidding me?
It's a real thing.
I've drinking so much I don't even have a penis anymore at all. Like it's like yeah, it's gone.
It goes back into your body.
Yeah, totally. I'm
It inverts.
turtles. Or is it something that a girl can do / not do that would make this happen? It goes without saying I'm doing the most in terms of hygiene. She is really down the rabbit hole of this. The guy always calls me again. So if they were that turned off, do you think they would come back? Jared, what's going on? Help. Jordana, do you hear stories from your friends about these situations, or is no one else experiencing this? BTW, Jared, I saw you in Atlanta. You had no whiskey dick to be found. No, I'm kidding. I'm a U Up subscriber and I've listened to every single episode. The pod helps me so much getting back in the dating game after coming back in my 30s. Never had seen an app. When I tell my married friends about all your advice, I refer to Jared as my podcast boyfriend and Jordana as my bestie. Although you did rate my tree a 3.
Sorry.
LOL. Love y'all. Sincerely, it's me. Hi, am I the problem? It's soft. Great sign off.
So here's the
Sorry
question.
your Christmas tree sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a harsh
Jordana.
grader, but
No, you're strict but fair.
that's what I try.
Mhm.
I try. Would you say, is it ever the woman's fault?
No.
Never.
I whiskey dick. Not getting it up. I to say it's the woman's fault.
No, that's a bad way to phrase it.
I think it
As
can
in-
be a bad match. It can be an uncomfortable match. You're with someone that it's just not
Are
working
you not
out.
attracted? Is that
The idea of I'm in bed with someone I'm unattracted to, and that's why my penis can't.
has a
become
smell
hard.
ever?
No, I think hardness gets related to female looks, or women do that to themselves.
Well, I think it's complimentary.
That
If
they
it's,
get
if it's,
soft.
if, no, I'm saying like if it's like
Extra
on
hard.
the other, like I don't think about it in the soft way, but I think if it's hard, I'm like, I think that's a compliment.
Right.
I'm like
I don't want
flattered.
to take that away from people,
I'm
but
flat,
I,
you know,
right.
but you're saying don't be too flattered, don't be too insulted.
Like most things,
Right.
It's not as bad as you think. It's not as good as you think.
right, yeah.
Because I think a penis,
I would always love if a guy like came too early, I'd be like, I get it.
right. And that's, again, like I'm no scientist. I'm no sex expert. I'm just speaking for myself. Like, I think sex for, especially single sex, where you don't know the person
Right.
as well, and you're trying to feel each other out, and you don't know what the other person's like pleasure sensors are, specifically. Maybe from 3,000 feet, you have an idea, or you're doing things that you did to the last person.
So it's like a
'Cause
mental thing.
I think it's a mental thing. I think it's also, if a guy masturbates that day, like, I know that makes me a worse sexual partner.
More likely to
As
come
I get-
early or more likely to
Just have issues
not
in
be able
general.
to get hard.
Like, I'm more
Okay.
sensitive, I think. I
Okay.
think more. There's a lot that, like, we all know women have to go to a place and need a mental,
right. But ours isn't so like I think with men it's like it's hard or it's not hard.
right.
For us, it's like you could
automatic.
you could have
versus
sex with someone when you're like kind of into it, and they wouldn't really. It wouldn't be as obvious to them.
Right. That's where that's where the ego comes in, and you can
Right.
get your ego shattered. Like,
Right.
I think like of sex as a single person. This is a bad, metaphor because I'm talking to a group of women that might not be baseball fans, but it's like a starting pitcher.
Mhm.
Like, you have good days, you have days that you got by, and you have bad days. And it's way less about the idea that, like, I just don't see such a strong correlation between turned off and penis soft.
Right.
Especially when you've spent a night together, you've hung out, like they're on
Coulda
this
left,
date,
yeah.
right? Like, they're attracted
Right.
to you.
To me, the variable here, if she's saying this is happening a lot, is maybe you guys are just drinking a little too much.
When she says many, many, many drinks, she wrote many 3 times.
Right.
So
Like maybe just have many. One
right.
many.
And again, the many drinks, it can happen and still be good because maybe they're just like, I've had many drinks and been great. I've had many drinks and been an embarrassment.
Well, only one way to find out is to take a variable out of the experiment.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, alcohol. And here's the other thing I'll say. Like, when I take a few days off of drinking, like, I am more of a alive person, so to speak. I
Mhm.
can feel it in myself. Like,
Right.
I've noticed that, like, especially with age. Like, I'm 39. I don't really admit to being 39 as far as, like, I don't think men do that, where they, like, think that
Their age has any impact?
their
Yeah.
age, but the age has impact. Like,
Right.
they'll say it in conversation, lightly,
It's like a joke.
but they're not really doing anything about it.
Right.
I know that about me. The idea that I'm like, hey, you're 39, have like 2 drinks on the date, and so you're ready for tonight. Like that's not like a thought in my
Right.
head. I'm like, I'm out. I'm
So
27
What
forever.
would your advice be to her then?
Less drinks. I'm with you. It's not you.
Okay.
The idea, I just don't buy.
Do it in the morning.
Morning sex, but even then, like I see that with drinking, like it affects
the
me.
next-
Like
okay.
I'll speak, honestly, to help her out and help any woman out. Like, it's a lifestyle. I really do think, like, especially as I've gotten older, like, and then again, performance in the bedroom. When a woman says like, "Oh, you came quickly because of me," I'm flattered. I'm like, oh, yeah, good. I
That's
hope
what I
you
would
think
think.
that. Like,
Did you come yet?
you can eat out on that one. I'll let you think that, but I'm like, I don't know.
I'll take it.
Right.
I always take it.
So yeah, this is my long-winded version of like. I just think like the more obviously the more you get to know someone, the more this isn't even
right.
a thought.
I think there's a lot of non-female variables or partner variables that go into
yeah,
that
and
aspect.
yeah,
Mechanics of that.
getting to know someone, trust. Like I just don't think guys are given this, I guess, credibility as far as like again, because you said hard or not hard.
Right.
It's not like, hey, can you like tickle my arm because that gets me wet sometimes. It's like
Right.
we don't think of that with guys
Well,
needing
like,
to go to a place and needing to
societally,
feel
You're sort of
mentally, physically ready for something. Because guys do this to ourselves. We joke about sex and we talk about
right.
sex
And it feels like a masculine thing to always like talk about how like you're ready at any moment. Or
right.
like you're
Right. And you're ready at any moment to, I would say, to masturbate, not to be with a woman.
So if anyone should be offended, it's only if it happens with your hand.
Right. How could you do this to me?
Do you not find me attractive anymore?
Why? I thought we had a good thing going. You took me out.
I've been moisturizing.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing a whole bit. Jared, I thought we had something beautiful.
We talked to Jared's masturbatory hand.
Yes.
Hello.
Is it that you don't love me anymore? Are you not attracted to me? What's been going on with you? You're so soft. I used to make you come all the time. Now it's only once a week.
You and the hand and the phone. Just the three of you.
The
orgy.
The gang.
Yes.
Well,
All right,
I think we helped them.
Yeah, I think so.
My hand and I will have our fight off camera.
Take it private.
That's our Friday Feels.
We'll be back next week.
Boom.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Belle Roman and Candice Maniga. Edited by Belle Roman. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. VP of podcast is Chris Allen. And be sure to follow U Up at u.up.podcast.